Hi, Professor Gibby. Gina Baird here. I'm going to be summarizing Chapter 9 in our Human Resource book. This chapter focuses on career development in organizations. Career development is an ongoing and formalized effort that focuses on developing enriched and more capable employees. It plays a key role in helping us managers recruit and retain skilled, committed workers so that the organization can succeed. Career development tries to meet employee and employer needs. Businesses need to start implementing these strategies if they want their organizations to succeed in today's competitive and global markets. Before putting a career development program in place, management, like us, needs to consider three major challenges. One, who is responsible? Traditionally, career development focused on the employee and was something that was done for the employee. But in today's world, many organizations have concluded that employees must take an active role in implementing and planning their own personal development plans. Employees will need some guidance regarding these steps that they can take to develop their careers. And number two, another challenge is how much emphasis is appropriate. Too much emphasis on this can create problems within the organization. If this concern for career development by the employee becomes excessive, it can actually be detrimental to the organization. First, is the employee more interested in capitalizing on opportunities for advancement than in maintaining adequate performance in their current position? Secondly, does the employee devote more attention to managing the impressions the employees make on others than to the reality of the job responsibilities and their skill levels? Does the employee emphasize networking, flattery, and being seen at social functions over what their current job performance is? And number three, how will the needs of the diverse workforce be met? Women and minorities are often excluded from the informal career development activities such as networking, mentoring, and participation in policy-making committees. In a nutshell, these groups may be discriminated against and not given a chance. Another group that needs to be considered is couples that both work. A career opportunity for one person in the marriage may constitute a major geographical move, and some organizations can help this and by including such things as flexible work schedules, telecommuting, and maybe even childcare services. This may help the organization from abruptly losing a key employee within their organization. So there's three phases to creating a career development program. Number one is the assessment phase, and the goal of this is to help determine what the employee's strengths and weaknesses are. This will help the employee, number one, choose a career that's realistic and obtainable and maybe a good fit. Number two, this will help determine the weaknesses that the employee may have in order to achieve their goals. This can be done by having the employee perform a self-assessment, and this can be performed online. There are a number of online sites that can help provide self-assessments and to help employees set realistic goals. There are workbooks and websites and company-specific sites that can attain this as well. Organizations may plan career workshops, which can be led by the Human Resource Management Department. There are what they call career anchors that can be very beneficial to an employee when trying to get them going in the right direction of the career path. In the book, it states to have an employee determine their career anchor, they need to basically answer a series of questions. They gave 8 questions, listed 8 questions. For example, number one would, do I identify with my profession and like to use my skill? Number two, do I like having a broad overview and enjoy responsibility? 3, do I like working independently? 4, I like it when things are stable and predictable. 5, I like the challenge of starting something new. 6, I want to make the world a better place. 7, I like competition and enjoy solving problems. And number 8, I want balance in my life. Once they choose their anchor, then it's up to the employer to help basically develop their career anchor by, number 1, you need to give the worker the opportunity to develop their work standards and to maybe mentor others. Number 2, we need to give the employee opportunities to lead projects or teams. I do this quite frequently at my place of employment. My staff takes any project that I give them and they run with it. They feel, and I actually had an employee tell me that it empowers them. And number 3, you need to ask the worker, to take on the role of an internal consultant and tackle a workplace problem. Providers at my place of employment contact one of my staff members about medical necessity and diagnosis codes to help patients who are on Medicare so that Medicare will cover the cost. And number 4, you need to let the worker know that staying in their current position is an option. Number 5, you got to give this worker new projects and let them develop ideas as an internal entrepreneur. Number 6, offer this worker some responsibility for a company program such as diversity or the opportunity to partner with a local charity. Number 7, they can stretch goals with the worker and empower him or her to make the decision needed to get there. And number 8, offer this worker flexibility in his or her work schedule and the opportunity to work from home. Sometimes that's not possible because if they work full time, they either have to use benefit time if they're going to be, taking time off to work on their career development. And in my place of employment, it's not feasible for them to work from home. The organization can also do an assessment themselves. Organizations may have an assessment center where an employee can perform situational exercises like mock interviews that are often used to see if they are, management material. And number 2, some employers use psychological testing to better understand their skills. Organizations can do performance appraisals, but they generally focus on these performance appraisals generally focus on the past performance of the employee rather than what they need to be doing for their future. So at our place of employment, we used to do performance appraisals once a year. Now we do what they call a midterm and an annual evaluation instead of a performance appraisal. And we sit down, we set goals for what they're going to be doing that year, and hopefully they can meet those goals. Organization can do promotability forecasts, and they can also do succession planning. The second phase in career development, creating a career development plan, is the direction phase. The direction phase of career development involves determining the type of career that the employee wants and the step that they must take to realize their career goals. As an employer, we want to hire people who are a good fit to the organization and match the skill set requirements and culture of the organization. This can be accomplished by individual career counseling sessions with the goal of helping employees to examine their career aspirations. Information systems can also provide career development information to employees by posting jobs. At our work, we have a website specifically for our employees called Team Parkview, and they post jobs there and online. Companies keep skilled inventories of which are inventories of the employee's skills, knowledge, and education. Basically, an employee file. The last phase is the development phase, and this phase involves taking the steps to foster growth and self-improvement. The most common developmental programs offered within organizations are mentoring, coaching, job rotation, and tuition assistance. In Parkview, they offer all of these. They offer tuition assistance, which I'm currently using, going to school at Defiance College right now. They offer tuition assistance to staff, but like at our place employment, you have to sign a contract that you're going to work for the company for so many years. And in my case, I believe it is 4 years. Or if you would happen to leave the company before that 4 years is up, then you have to pay whatever they've given you monetary wise. You have to pay that back in full to the organization. There are 3 domains that an employee will need to look at when they're considering and look at, to consider in defining career success. Number one is money. So how much money is important to you? Number two, work. What do you want to do? And what level of responsibility do you want? And number three, life. Is it important for you to be home every night with your family? So number three wasn't really an important aspect in my career choice. I don't have any children, so I don't need to be home every night with my kids. Money really wasn't an issue either. I started out right out of school thinking I needed to have a very high-paying job. I did go through nursing school, became an RN, and absolutely hated it. So basically what I found is I found my niche. I did some soul searching and, figured out what I wanted to do in my life and what was going to make me happy. So that was my work. So that's pretty much the summary of Chapter 11. I will see you next week. Thank you very much.